There was a time when the earth breathed in silence. A time when no man called it home.
The forests were seas of green, and the seas oceans of light. Life flourished everywhere.
It was the Cretaceous, a time of colossi, of creatures so large they seemed sculpted by the gods. On land, Triceratops roamed in herds under a sun that knew no winter. In the skies, enormous pterosaurs cut the air like living sails. In the seas, monsters with fins and teeth reigned over silent abysses. Every creature had a role, every heartbeat a meaning.
It was balance, it was life, it was pure power.
Among the branches, primitive birds experimented with flight.
And beneath the roots, tiny mammals lived in the shadows, ready for a future they did not yet know they possessed.
Under that blue sky, the earth seethed with energy. Herds of ankylosaurs advanced slowly and heavily, their armor glinting like living shields.
Further south, herds of hadrosaurs crossed the rivers, their calls echoing like ancient songs.
In the swamps, small compsognaths moved in groups, swift and curious. While among the ferns, more agile predators hid, waiting.
In the forests, new plant species flourished as never before. Insects carried pollen among ancient flowers.
The microraptor, its dark, shiny feathers, glided among the trees as the sun filtered through the foliage like liquid light.
And beneath the roots, tiny mammals lived in the shadows, alert and wary.
It was a world full of movement and voice, of birth and death, a fragile balance suspended above an invisible abyss.
Above them, far away, in the darkness of space, something was changing. A fragment of rock, born from ancient collisions, had begun a journey lasting millions of years.
It crossed the asteroid belt, silent, invisible, inevitable. And Earth, unaware, continued to rotate. The seasons passed, the oceans shifted, mountains rose, yet the planet remained vulnerable.
And in that immensity, a single grain of space was enough to change everything. That grain was coming, and no one could stop it.
Ahead of it, the air began to compress and heat up. The surface became incandescent.
From the ground, a continuous trail appeared, ever brighter. Only moments remained until it entered the densest layers. Then, it became a fire.
A fiery orb that grew by the minute, hurtling at over 70,000 kilometers per hour.
Its target, the Yucatan Peninsula, in present-day Mexico.
No one looked up. No one could understand what was happening.
Then came light, a flash that blotted out the sun.
And then it struck. The sea exploded upward, vaporizing in an instant.
The impact released energy equal to more than 100 million megatons.
The Earth's crust folded like a veil of sand. The rock melted. The sky ignited. In a radius of thousands of kilometers, nothing survived. A wave rose in the sea, more than a kilometer high.
The tsunami swept across the oceans, striking coastlines thousands of kilometers away. The seas rose, then retreated, carrying everything away.
The planet transformed into a howl.
Fragments of light began to fall from the sky.
At first isolated flashes, then a continuous, incessant rain. Day and night merged into a single inferno. On the surface, the temperature exceeded 1,000 degrees. The entire planet became a furnace.
Even the rocks deformed, flowing like wax.
Flames raced beyond the horizon, fueled by wind and pain.
The largest dinosaurs collapsed, suffocated by the heat. Rivers evaporated. Clouds vanished.
The impact opened a wound more than 20 kilometers deep and 180 kilometers wide.
And shockwaves circled the globe multiple times, erasing forests, lakes, breaths.
In the darkness, ash fell. A dense dust that covered everything. Yet even as everything burned, something survived underground, in rivers, in holes between rocks. The dust remained suspended for months, then years.
Temperatures plummeted. The earth had become a frozen tomb.
Plants died, herbivores starved, and when they fell, the predators followed.
The Tyrannosaurus rex, once king, roamed among the charred trees searching for something, anything, to devour.
The Triceratops, once in majestic herds, now stood alone.
In the seas, food chains collapsed. Even ancient sea monsters disappeared into liquid silence.
One by one, the giants vanished, not in a day, but in slow, merciless time. But beneath that gray blanket, something still moved.
Years passed, then decades. The dust began to settle.
The sun filtered again, weak, through the clouds of death, and the ice began to melt.
The first drops of rain washed the blackened soil.
Beneath the earth, forgotten seeds sprouted. Life returned, slowly, timidly, fragile. Moss on the rocks, ferns among the burnt trunks. Life breathed again.
Small flowers opened their petals to a new light.
The insects reappeared first.
Then came the reptiles, small, resilient, enduring.
And the surviving birds reclaimed the sky.
The mammals, who had waited in darkness, now stepped into the light.
Where giants once walked, light and agile creatures now ran. The world had changed forever. The planet healed, slowly but inevitably.
The age of reptiles had ended. The age of mammals had begun. Light filled the sky again, slowly, gently, like time itself learning to breathe once more.
The planet, wounded and transformed, began to heal.
Mountains rose, oceans shifted, and winds reshaped the deserts like invisible hands recreating the world.
And with them, life began to dance again. Life was new, fragile, but more intelligent, more adaptable.
The Earth had not forgotten. It carried the memory of that day in its rocks, its fossils, its bones buried in silence. Every mountain we walk, every stone we touch, carries the memory of that day.
The extinction of the dinosaurs was not an end. It was the spark that lit the next chapter. From that destruction emerged the seeds of our own story.
Millions of years later, creatures capable of wondering where they came from would walk these lands.
They evolved, adapted, and multiplied, filling the world the giants left behind.
Life diversified, shaping forms never seen before.
The earth carried its memories within its stones, silent witnesses of unimaginable ages.
Life marched forward, shaping new rhythms and new kingdoms.
Through storms and darkness, life endured, always searching for a way forward.
From quiet waters to vast forests, life learned to thrive again.
The world changed again and again, yet life remained its constant companion.
Among them, the first sparks of awareness began to appear.
Step by step, creatures rose, seeking new ways to see the world.
Curiosity became memory. Memory became meaning.
From curiosity came understanding, tiny sparks that would one day ignite empires. They shaped bones, then stones, then fire. Fire began to speak, a voice of warmth, warning, and wonder.
Memory took shape on stone, marks of presence, marks of becoming.
And for the first time, creatures looked at the world and wondered.
Awareness grew. Caution became strategy. Instinct became thought.
They learned to work together, to survive not through strength alone, but through unity. Fire became home, the heart of their nights and the cradle of their stories. They wandered, seeking new lands, shaping the first paths of our long journey. They looked upward, not with fear, but with wonder, and the universe answered with silence. From thought came craft. From craft came mastery.
They learned not only to survive, but to plan. They journeyed farther than any creature before them, across valleys, deserts, and mountains. They faced storms not as beasts, but as thinkers.
Tools became symbols. Symbols became stories.
They looked at the sky and asked who they were.
They built homes, not just to survive, but to belong.
They created symbols, shadows of ideas that would shape ages to come. From them came us.
It wasn't the end of life.
It was only the beginning of us.
Millions of years later, we walk the same lands, wondering where we came from.
We study their world, and in their end, we find our beginning.
Every sunrise we see shines because of a world that ended long before us.
We remember them through stone, through dust, through echoes that refuse to fade.
We are the continuation of their journey, the living memory of worlds erased.
The universe moves on, but life finds a way. Always.